Hello and welcome to a roundup of quite interesting tech news from the world of cycling. Featuring this week is Merida's brand new gravel bike, dead on arrival, your chance to be a pro rider, sort of, for just 18,000 euros. Another bike company closes its doors, but we start with a new pedal and shoe system that could potentially be a game changer. Right, first up, a brand new and potentially game-changing product from French brand Ecoi, first seen on the bikes of a Continental team in the summer of 2024. So a brand new shoe, cleat and pedal system, and it really is a system. And these are the pedals, and they look very, very different to pedals from Shimano, Look, Keo or Wahoo. And there are quite a few numerous claimed benefits, and I'll be testing them over the next few weeks and months to deliver my verdict whether they're actually any good, whether they live up to the claims from the company. So they're called a PW8, and the 8 points to the stack height. So a key feature, as you can see, is how low profile the pedal is. Very little bulk indeed. And the stack height is just 8 millimeters. So the ball of your foot in the shoe is much closer to the pedal axle. And for comparison, Shimano Dura Di2 pedals are 14.5 millimeters, and my favorite Speedplay Wahoo pedals is 11.5, so much lower than rival pedals. And I can't wait to find out whether that lower stack height is actually a beneficial thing when cycling compared to those other systems. And I'll do some testing indoors and outdoors. But yeah, questions around that potential improvement. Another improvement claimed by the company is aerodynamics, because the shoe is low on the pedal, so there's less frontal surface area, so potentially a marginal aero benefit. And then the other key feature is how big the platform is, and that should give more potential support, more stability for the shoe on the pedal, and potentially better power transfer in theory. So when you're sprinting, smashing out the watts, you might have that extra stability from that system. But the big downside, the obvious downside, is you have to have special shoes. So that's a pedal. The cleats are these tiny little pieces here. So two there and one there, and they mount to special shoes, which we have here also from Ecoi. So the cleats go just there and up there, and the pedal clips in like so. So that is the obvious downside. You have to use the Ecoi shoe, and whether other companies like City, Specialized, Shimano, Physique will be interested in the technology and embracing it, or whether Ecoi will allow them at all, because apparently they sunk a whopping 2 million euros of investment into the system. So unlikely, at least for the next few years, they will open up to other companies. So that's a big downside. The shoe does look okay though. Pair of bow dials, kind of looks like a Physique or Specialized, perforated upper, nice stiff carbon fiber sole with ventilation. These are a size 45, which I normally wear, so I will test the shoes as well and see how they compare to City, who sponsor the channel, of course, and Specialized and Shimano shoes, and whether the shoes are good enough to warrant the switch from shoe and pedal system to this whole system. So yeah, loads of question marks around them for sure, but they are the new Ecoi PW8, a revolutionary, potentially game-changing pedal cleat shoe system. And on the scales, let's see what they weigh, and we'll start with the pedals. One pedal weighs 106, 107 grams, so very lightweight. And the cleats, well, nothing to them really. So they are 6 grams. While the shoes, if I remove the paper from inside, comes in at 368 grams for one shoe. So yeah, pretty lightweight. And then for price, they're currently on offer on their website, on the Ecoi website, for 110 euros for the pedals. But of course you need the shoes, and they retail for nearly 300 euros. So not a cheap shoe at all. The pedals on their own, not crazy expensive compared to Shimano or Wahoo. But yeah, you have to buy them as a system. And whether that is a pitfall of the entire system in terms of being embraced by you people watching at home, or whether you are prepared to swap your favorite shoes for these shoes to use these, well, yeah, big question mark. So they will be on my bike for the next few weeks and months. I'll give you a first impressions and hopefully a long-term update as well, as long as I can hold on to them before they ask for them back, as they will do. There we go. Not often you get a brand new pedal system that requires brand new shoes as well. So let me know your thoughts on those by dropping a comment down below. I'll put a link to the company's website down below as well in case you want to find out more details on this new system. Next up, Taiwanese bike company Merida has launched a brand new gravel bike called the Mission, but the standout detail is a rather odd decision to only give the bike space for 40mm wide tyres. We're seeing tyres getting wider to the point where many pros are speccing mountain bike tyres on their bikes, and there are bikes out there with space for 57mm tyres, as you might have seen in my recent video on the best big tyre gravel bikes, link above in case you missed it. And that 40mm clearance is what an endurance road bike these days has, like the MV3, the 51 Seeker or the Specialized Roubaix, which might be called all road bikes. So is the new Merida Mission really a gravel bike? The company says the new bike is designed to slot in between their existing Sculptura Endurance GR and the Silex. The latter is a really capable, fun gravel bike, but one that borrows a lot of details from a mountain bike in its geometry, so it's quite high and slack, and basically not racy and low enough for the roadie pros turning to gravel these days. So the new Mission is really just a fat tyre road bike that might be best being called an all-road bike rather than a gravel bike in my opinion. And when I say a fat tyre road bike, the stack and reach is very close to a Specialized Tarmac SL8. More predictable details include in-frame storage, a UDH hanger for SRAM Explore drivetrain, but the frame can take a front mech for 2x builds, which are very popular in the gravel race scene. There's full internal routing, of course, with one-piece carbon fibre handlebars and lots of area shaping on the frame and forks. Prices start from a very reasonable £2,250 and rise to £7,000, but of course, these bikes are not available in the US because of a Specialized agreement. But in the UK and Europe, Merida bikes offer excellent value for money if the brand proposition isn't quite that compelling. Another bike brand sadly bites the dust, this time Gore Bikewear. The clothing brand of fabric specialist Gore-Tex has been closed down for good. This is a real shame for me personally, as I always liked Gore's clothing. The value for money was really good, the designs were sound, and the technical side in terms of fabrics was without question. But the branding, the marketing definitely lagged behind other more exciting brands out there in the market these days. Gore-Tex itself, the parent company, remains unchanged and still in business of course, so will still supply most of the clothing brands with its fabrics and hopefully still invest in new fabrics and technology as well. This comes just a few years after the now iconic Shape Dry fabric was discontinued because of the nasty chemicals involved in the manufacturing of that material and a big push by the clothing industry to not use nasty chemicals. And the replacement it developed, Spin Shift, wasn't sadly as good and hasn't been that well received. And other clothing brands like channel sponsor Castelli have focused on developing their own fabrics, working with different partners instead. But if you do want to grab a slice of history and a bargain, there are some big discounts on the Gore-Wear website right now. Definitely worth checking out, link down below. Becoming a professional cyclist is no easy task. There's years of dedication, the sacrifice, the hard training, counting calories and being away from home. But if you've got deep pockets, then for the price of a top-of-the-range road bike, you can get access to the same level of support that most pros now take for granted. Not quite a pro contract, but as close as it gets. Because Danish clothing brand Fusion, who makes a kit for Uno X, the pro cycling team, is offering 5 spots in its performance workshop for the princely sum of €18,000. Yup, for a little more than the price of a top-of-the-range road race bike, you can get access to all the tools and experts that are used to tune and refine professional cyclists. It's a full development program to turn you from amateur into pro and help you achieve success in whatever field or cycling discipline you are focused in. You get 2 days in a wind tunnel, full custom cycling kit, and one-to-one sessions with pro athletes and aero engineers. Sadly, you don't actually get a pro contract or the chance to race in a pro team, which the marketing does make it sound a bit like, but the company reckons this opportunity will help any athlete maximize your potential for personal success. So if you've done all the hard groundwork, turned over all the marginal gains, it could be just a ticket for you. Or if you're based in the UK, for much less money, and it would probably achieve similar results, to book some time with Drag20 in the Silverstone Wind Tunnel from just £150, and then a coaching plan from someone like Matt Bottrell for £145 per month, and probably achieve similar results in terms of improving your opportunities of personal success. But if you want to sign up for an £18,000 spot on a development program, I'll put a link to it down below. Right, that's all from this week's quite interesting tech news. Let me know what you think of these stories and topics by dropping a comment down below. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that button right there.